iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome in here tonight, race fans. Here tonight to the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Scrambler Series, presented by Red Light Racing. Here from the sunny Irwindale, California Speedway, we go California dreaming on one of the toughest tracks of the season. 25 drivers have logged in here tonight to take their best swipe at this speedway. It's a progressive banking little half-mile track, and one of the best things about this speedway is we have the inside, the middle top, and the way outside line. A lot of these drivers will be fighting for that outside line real estate here tonight, and it's going to be very tricky, very tight. This track does provide, though, the opportunity to do a slide job. That's right, asphalt slide jobs are some of the best slide jobs out there because you just never know where the car is going to stop. Drivers that won't have to worry about that tonight of if they can pick up a win and lock themselves in. Max Terrell, DJ Anderson, James Skelton, Zach Mitchell, and Chris Hammett have all locked themselves in. That's 5 spots out of the top 13 taken by just those drivers. Michael Trevarthen, Ethan Troutman, Richard Murdoch, Sean Single, Jeffrey Souza, all looking pretty safe right now, but the drivers on the border, Sean Butler, Cole Day, and Joshua Buckley, they're in right now, but by the end of the night, they could be on the outside looking in. But it's just about time as you see cars starting to take to the grid here tonight at Irwindale. Let's get you down trackside to get the Simbox starting lineup. Starting lineup brought to us by our friends over at Simbox. Check them out at facebook.com/SimboxBC. Starting on the pole here tonight, fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying. It will be car number 8 of Zach Mitchell starting on the pole here tonight. To the outside of him, he is the driver of car number 64. Jason Wells will start in P number 2. The 99 of Cole Day will start back into the 3rd spot here tonight while starting 4th, the 42 of Max Terriol. Sean Butler back in action here tonight. Car number 88 will start back into the 5th spot, while Ethan Troutman, car number 62. He just was down at the Bristol Motor Speedway to watch some dirt racing. Maybe he saw some slide jobs out there that he can apply tonight. He'll start 6th. To the 7th starting spot, it's the 2-cent single machine, number 11 entry of Shanika Single. He'll start back into the 7th spot. And how about the fisherman, the bass fisher? Trout, you name it, he's got it, the 86 of James Skelton. Dalton Williamson will start car number 61 back there. He's a short track racer. We'll look forward to watching him come through the field tonight. To the outside of him, another one of those short track ranked drivers, car number 6 of Chris Hammett, will start back into the 10th spot. Billy Edwards and car number 73 will start back into the 11th spot. And how about Jeffrey Souza? Always very strong when we come to the short tracks. 13th starting spot here tonight will be Ryan O'Donnell in the Turbo Dork Radical Paints 4X Racing, number 98. That's O'Donnell in 13th. And how about Dan the Man Butler, the Storm Mag, car number 21? He'll start back into the 14th spot. DJ Anderson in his all-white number 51 will start back in 15th starting spot tonight. And how about the 13 MA, Joshua Buckley in the Granny Hips Walkers and Canes entry will start 16th on the call here tonight. And Tim Williams, the Canadian Bacon Eater, car number 45, will start 17th. 18th here tonight will go to the number 43, the Joe Strano entry. He'll start 18th on the call. Driver out of Pennsylvania, driving car number 31 of Donald Bennett, will start back in 19th. And how about the number 38, the Beefy Motorsports, Brandon Feedy, will start back in 20th. 21st on the call, all the way out of Australia, driving car number 184. That'll be Kevin O'Brien. And how about the 20-year anniversary, checkered flag, autos fly, number 30 of Bob Higgins. Tony Strano, the brother to Joe, piloting car number 3, will start back in 23rd. Well, how about the Cuban Missile? That's car number 69 of Roy Fernandez back in 24th. And A.J. Watkins will be scheduled to roll from the 25th starting spot here tonight. That's your starting lineup brought to us by our friends over at Simbox. 150 laps will be the distance tonight, race fans. The NASCAR ARCA machines are out onto the Speedway as we're getting ready to go racing, this time by 150 laps. You hear the cars out there, all 25. Well, mistaken. It was scheduled to be 25 cars. It will be just 22 cars taking the green here tonight as 3 drivers, DJ Anderson, Roy Fernandez, A.J. Watkins, do not make the call to the grid here. We'll go this time here at Irwindale out of turn number 4. 150 laps here tonight. We're racing in California. A lot of drivers can take the opportunity here to push it 3 wide on the opening laps. Who will do it is going to be the question. Squirting out ahead will be the Zach Mitchell number 8 machine. Terriol and Wells battling for the second spot. 1 lap in the books, and it will go to Zach Mitchell. Zach Mitchell leading the way. Everybody, you can see it, fighting to go to the outside lane. A lot of these drivers contact back here. The 45 of Tim Williams and the number 98, the Turbo Dork entry, making contact. That was O'Donnell and Williams body slam. Damage to car number 45. Around, gonna go Williams. Buckley nowhere to go. Buckley into the back of the 45 of Williams as Williams locked it up. The driver out of Ontario. So Tim Williams having some problems. He will stop right there on the front straightaway, and we will get the first caution flag of the evening. Zach Mitchell still the race leader. There you see him. He'll come to a slow as the iRacing.com pace car will make its way out to the racing surface. Take a look back here and see if we can find the 45 of Williams up there loose, and then he locks it down in front of the field. Joshua Buckley in the Granny Hips Walkers and Canes entry. Nowhere to go. So Joshua Buckley getting involved. Let's ride on board with Buckley. You saw Williams lock it down in front of Buckley, and Buckley nowhere to go. Going to go right into that left rear quarter panel with car number 45. Williams then having to take the tow back to pit road. So that's what puts us under the first caution flag of the evening. Unfortunately, Joshua Buckley will get involved here. So 1 caution flag inside the first 5 laps of the evening. There's the Granny Hips Walkers and Canes entry. The Rev Esports driver out of Pepperell, Massachusetts. Josh Buckley making his 223rd start with the series tonight. Was looking for a little bit of a better start here. He's one of our drivers that not only compete here on Monday night, but Joshua Buckley also competes on our Thursday night division. That's with our short track ranks of drivers, and this is one of the tracks that they do run on a yearly schedule just about. So he's had a lot of laps here, especially making 223 starts starting here tonight on Monday night. And that with, though, just about another 150 starts on the short track ranks. He's been here before, just a time or two. One driver coming to pit road here in his brand new auto tire and safeties entry, the Feeney Call, driver out of Peterborough, Ontario, Canada, with a brand new paint scheme out of the Ryan O'Donnell stables. Ryan O'Donnell, of course, putting this paint job here tonight on the brand new ARCA car for Brandon Feeney. Brand new updated number for him. Took that bright red, made it a little bit duller red. It is looking good. A nice fine piece for Brandon Feeney. He's down on pit road right now, being scored back in the 21st position. So we'll see. It does look like he will stay on the lead lap. It's very hard to come to pit road here at Irwindale, go to pit road and come back out on the lead lap is very difficult. Well, the foundation of Richard Murdoch tuning in here tonight. Over on our live YouTube feed, Richard. Miss you out here tonight. I'm sure you've probably, let me guess, you're out on the boat, Richard. And you just magically did not make it back in time here tonight. Usually that's James Skelton's job, but James here tonight, he's sitting into the 6th position. Back to green here. It'll be 8 laps officially completed. Zach Mitchell will lead us into the restart zone. Have to wait on Barney the flagman to call this one green. Green flag back out. Zach Mitchell will boot scoot boogie to the top side and look at the choo-choo train all around the top. Nobody wants to give up that top spot right now. See if Jason Wells can make a little hay on the bottom side here. First lap back to green. Everybody still chasing Zach Mitchell. So Mitchell and Terrell to the outside. Ethan Troutman and Jason Wells are almost side by side. Wells has an opportunity here. If he wants to slide himself into the corner and be able to pick up that spot from Troutman, he does not. He stays down low. That momentum, though, on the outside is about to roll. Right on board here. You're riding on board with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply onboard camera with Ethan Troutman. Troutman working the outside of the Speedway. Everybody minding their P's and Q's here. Just about everybody you can see has already pretty much went to the outside lane. You got to go way back to the front of the field here with Wells down on the bottom. Then I believe that's going to be the 99 of Cold Day. Has not been able to find his way to the top shelf. He's shedding positions like I sweat outside while I was trying to do some yard work tonight. The inside lane is just not rolling very well here early on, where these drivers, their tire pressure is just not quite up to snuff to go down to the bottom side. Everybody still chasing Zach Mitchell, who was out front in car number 8. There's the distance. There's about a half-second gap between the 8 car of Zach Mitchell and the 42 of Max Terrell. Terrell has some wins on Thursday nights here at the iconic Irwindale Speedway. Has never picked up one, though, on a Monday night that I can look through the stats to find. So tonight could be a first for him, at least not here in the ARCA car. He has not won. Everybody now has made their way to the outside lane. Jason Wells still trying to maybe make something happen on the bottom. Cold Day has made his way up, so he has fallen 8 spots. Now back to the 11th position for Cold Day in car number 99. There you see Wells still falling through the field. Now he'll find the opening behind Cold Day. So put Day back into the 10th spot. Now Wells, the alien himself, back into the 11th running position. So now the question is, how long do you ride in the position you're in to save the tires, or do you push it because it's 150 laps? I do believe we can make it just about that far on the fuel gauge here tonight. It'll be close, but I think we might be able to do it. There you see Souza. He's picked up 4 spots. One of the highest running drivers, picking up the most spots anyway. Him and James Skelton both tied with 4 spots gained. So Souza sitting there in the stand analyzer. Souza media entry. He's got the Purple Fusion out here tonight. Souza, one of those guys that, well, he works part-time for Souza Media. And it seems like he's a full-time painter, because I know there's a couple cars out in the field that he's had his, well, virtual paintbrush on. And he always comes one of the best dressed vehicles onto the track. Chris Hammett just behind him having a little bit of problems in car number 6. The car does not seem to be rolling the middle of the corner all that well, as now he actually closes in on Souza. But he's been struggling with car number 6 so far here in the early going. He's been able to pick up one spot. He was as far back, though, as running into the 12th position at one point. Now he's back to running into the 10th spot, but we'll see if that will continue. One driver working the outside here. Here comes the Flowertown Animal Hospital. James Skelton will get around the 62 of Ethan Troutman. Troutman slipped. He left the door open, and in walls the 86 of Skelton. Now here comes the 2-cent single. Cartoon Network entry. He'll make the outside work. So does Sean Butler, Dalton Williamson. Where does the 62 fall to? He'll fall all the way back to that 7th spot. Was running 3rd, now finds himself back to 7th. Didn't want to put himself on the bottom side of the Speedway for very long, because not only will it eat up the tires, you're just going to lose position. So it's a no-win situation down there. Get back to the top side as soon as you can. Exactly what he did. Kevin O'Brien a little loose off the corner that time in this Marlboro Kmart entry. Driver out of Australia. 2 weeks ago, picking up a top 10 finish. Broke his streak of missing the top 10. Finally got it done. Just got passed by Bob Higgins, though. Higgins in the Checkered Flag Auto Supply 20-year anniversary machine. Now up to the 20th spot. He continues to climb through the field here tonight. There is, though, the biggest mover so far here this evening. It'll be car number 3 of Tony Strano. He has now actually picked up 8 spots since the drop of the green flag. He is moving forward. Got a little help there by a couple of those drivers not making the call to the grid. Those drivers are DJ Anderson, Roy Fernandez, and A.J. Watkins. But they're all still chasing the man out front. There he is, car number 8. As Zach Mitchell had to probably put on that Turn 3 Racing hoodie that we sent him from the studio the other week. We were using our brand new koozie tonight to do yard work around the studio. Brand new koozies back in stock here. It's been a high popular demand thing by a lot of drivers. So we got them back, and now we got a bunch of colors. One just magically matched my John Deere tractor outside, so we just had to use it. Feeney closing in on Buckley here. Remember, Brandon Feeney is a driver that did come down on lap number 6 to pit road. The only driver so far here tonight that has hit pit road for anything. Not sure if that was for an adjustment or just to add fuel, because he did not, I don't believe he did not put fuel in that car. Or he put fuel only in that car, I should say. At least no tires were used on the number 38 of Brandon Feeney. Sean Single starting to lose pace with James Skelton here. Sean Butler in the all jacked up Mountain Dew. That's what I got in front of me right now in one of our Turn 3 koozies. Sean Butler sitting there in that beautifully looking, well, call it chrome green. Good looking hot rod. Yellow flag is out. Something happened. Philly Edwards. Just found out over the weekend. I was at the Port Royal Speedway. Philly Edwards likes his Genesee Cream Ale. Well, I found out that Labatt's Blue, a Canadian beer, is actually owned by the Genesee Beer Company up there in Buffalo, New York. So link those two together. We drink those quite a few here in the studio. The Labatt Blue anyway. Owned by Genesee. Would have never guessed it, but let's take a look back here. What happened to the 73 of Philly Edwards? Loose off turn 4, locked it down, and man, just saved it from hitting that inside wall. Right on board on top of the 73. You heard the tires light up. Couldn't have cut that any closer to the inside wall. Couple drivers coming to pit road here. Couple drivers coming, couple drivers staying out here. Max Terriot will give up the second spot. He'll come to pit road. Ethan Troutman, Jeffrey Souza, Chris Hammett will all come. Couple drivers staying out here, though, under this yellow flag. Couple drivers, Zach Mitchell, James Skelton, Sean Single, Sean Butler, Dalton Williams, Ryan O'Donnell, and Joshua Buckley all will stay out here under this caution flag. It is only the second caution flag of the evening. We have gone 33 official laps here tonight. Max Terriel will take tires, and he'll come back out onto the speedway. So it'll be Max, then it'll be Troutman, Souza, Day, Hammett, Wells, Joe Strano, Tony Strano, Dan Butler is the top 16 drivers here tonight. That's how they come out, and it is 4 tires and racing fuel for all the drivers that came to pit road. There's the driver, though, that has led every lap so far here tonight. That is Zach Mitchell. He will restart this race from the front row without new tires. We told you might be able to make it all the way on fuel, so these drivers right now trying to bank on making it the rest of the way on fuel and hoping those drivers that just put tires on are not able to cash in those new tires and come through the field. Well, Murdoch, we hope you're not swimming. We know you don't have your floaties on, probably. We hope you at least saved your turn 3 koozie. I'm pretty sure you got one of the last batches of koozies out there, and hopefully you kept that. Maybe that's keeping you afloat out there. Here we go, though. It'll be 36 down out of the 150 scheduled. Zach Mitchell will choose the outside lane. Here we go. Down into 1. Mitchell will close the door. Oh, going around the 86. The 86 going to go around, and there's trouble. There's 2 cent singles sitting there. Joshua Buckley, he's involved. He came to a stop. So James Skelton, the fisherman out of South Carolina, involved in this one. He was running second on the restart. Looks like possibly him and Sean Single getting tangled up in the corner. Here's what happened. A little tap of the back there, and then Sean Single. Oh! Joshua Buckley into the back of Single, which was already in the back of the 86 of James Skelton. Right on board, James Skelton. Rolled out of the throttle, and around he goes. Watch it again. Sean Single into the back of the 86 here on the restart. So those 2 drivers will be relegated to the back of the field. See them down on pit road right now. So they're going to get some tires, I am sure, on their 2 machines. They are 2 drivers that did not come to pit road. So you know who this really helps out, this caution flag? There's Max Terriel. He went from going to be starting back into the 9th spot now to 5th with fresh tires, and he did not get not even a half a lap out of those new tires. So those tires are still going to be Mr. Feel-Goods when we go back racing. So it'll be Terriel and Souza back there running 5th and 6th. They're the highest running drivers that did come to pit road. Dalton Williamson, car number 61. Ryan O'Donnell in the 98. Sean Butler in the 88. And Zach Mitchell in car number 8 will be the drivers that are that haven't pitted at all tonight. Ah, yes, Mr. Murdoch, the brown one, right? The brown and orange. It was not brown and orange, was it now, Murdoch? Might be brown after all that river water washing up from your boat being down there. Well, we're ready to go. The iRacing.com pace car lights are off. We'll come back into the restart zone here. We'll get things kicked back off after 42 laps of racing. Mitchell, Butler, Williamson, O'Donnell right now at the top 4. Life-saving arms, that's right. Almost contact, maybe leaning on him a little bit there is Sean Butler into the quarter panel of car number 8 of Zach Mitchell as they work down the back straightaway. Mitchell will hold the race lead. Here comes Dalton Williamson. He knows a thing or two about short track racing here in Irwindale. He'll now take the second spot. So Dalton Williamson now in the second. Butler back into the third spot. Ryan O'Donnell going to lose a spot there on that restart, but does get back to the top side of the speedway. Now Max Terrill trying to put the good tires to use to get around the number 98. Remember, O'Donnell on the old tires as Max Terrill on those new ones. Side-by-side battle back here, almost 3 wide racing. That'll be the 43 of Joe Strandl to the outside, the Road Rage Accessories entry. There's Tony Strandl right behind him, and that's the 99 of Cole Day. Day trying to work the bottom. He will clear the 43. He'll clear himself up. Cole Day moving forward after the green flag restart. Jason Wells all night long has been down on that middle to bottom groove, and that car has just not been going anywhere for him. Souza took a bid to the inside on Butler, that time off the corner, but the tires of that state analyzer. Number 4 did not hook up. See, Max has got around Ryan O'Donnell now. O'Donnell back to running into the 6th position. Just trying to hold on. He was well outside the top 10 when that caution came out. So as long as he can stay in the top 10 here tonight, that is going to be a net gain for the number 98 of Ryan O'Donnell. And now everybody is up against the boards except for, well, oh, Bob, that's totally against the boards. Bob, you can't. This ain't the Ross Chastain line. There's the Kyle Larson line up against the wall, and then there's the Ross Chastain line, one going around. Butler. He's going to save it. Butler. Driver out of Southbridge, Massachusetts. Going to hang on to that number 21. So we do stay green. The 3rd caution flag of the night. Put back into the sack. Got to stay green. We're talking about Bob parking it up against the fence like Ross Chastain. You want to talk about a Ross Chastain fan? There it is. Car number 31 of Donald Bennett. Bennett went to the Pocono Raceway the other season with the Turn 3 posse. And he actually walked right by Ross Chastain until I turned around and said, "Hey, Donald, isn't that Ross Chastain standing right there?" Then Donald turn around and go get his Turn 3 hat signed as Bennett's going to go up into the Chastain line. So Bennett turned into a huge Ross Chastain fan from Pocono. Battle for the race lead. Here comes the 61, Dalton Williamson. He would like to get the race lead before those drivers with the new tires get there. Here he is down to the inside, and he's going to sail it in contact. Dalton Williamson right across the nose of the 8 of Zach Mitchell. Mitchell will hang on. 3 wide racing. 3 wide racing. Here comes the new tires of Souza down to the bottom side. He's going to attack now on the bottom. Can he clear himself up? He will not. Sideways for the 4. Sideways for Jeffrey Souza. Souza trying everything he can right now to try and get the race lead. Williamson will fall back into the 3rd spot as he trying to clear himself across the 8's nose. Zach Mitchell holds strong at the front of the field here tonight. Oh, problems. The 61 is wiggle wobble down through the corner. Want to talk about a driver that's given it everything she's got, Captain? Well, that is the 61 of Dalton Williamson here tonight. Driver out of Tampa, Florida, has some short track racing background down in Florida. Trying to hang on. He's a 3-time champion on Thursday night in the short track division. Thought he had a good chance here tonight of running towards the front of the field. Well, he's up there. Now he's just got to try and get back. He will hold off the strong charging number 42 of Max Terrill. As there you see now Chris Hammett trying to take a bid to the inside. There you see the Turbo Dork Radical Paints number 98, the 4X Racing crew. The newly 4X formed team. There you see Chris Hammett and Ryan O'Donnell, both part of that team. I believe Ryan O'Donnell is the man behind that paint scheme driven by car number 6 of Chris Hammett also. You can notice the 4X logo down on that bottom right-hand corner of the car. Kind of an indication. I know, race fans, you're all like me. We can definitely see it. We know it's there. We know what it says. sometimes I just like to point out the obvious. And that obvious is there's that 64 back down to the inside. It hasn't worked. I think for a lot of these drivers here is they're not used to running this track here at Irwindale. And I think a way to make the passes is going to be diving it way down and almost getting that yellow line. Almost down at the grass is where you're going to have to do a lot of these slide jobs. And the only reason I'm guesstimating that is, well, I've run a thing or two on dirt. I watch a lot of dirt racing. A lot of times you really got to sail it off. Cole Day's one of the drivers in the field there, that Real Tree number 99. He's one of those drivers that, well, he would be willing to do that if he needed to. He's a dirt racer here on iRacing and follows dirt all around the country. Met Cole a couple years ago at the Chili Bowl. Battle for second, though. Battle for second between the Stant Analyzer number 4, Jeffrey Souza. He's going for second as Sean Butler in the Call of Duty Mountain Dew entry is working the outside. And then Max Terriell's trying to get around Dalton Williamson. So there's a couple battles inside the top 5, sideways, hanging on to her. Let her eat, young man. Souza doing everything he can. The Seacon. Souza Media, Stant Analyzer 4, trying to lay the power. Trying to do anything he can. He's got 33 lap pressure tires. Problem is that outside lane just so banked and momentum heavy out there. Oh, there we go. There's going to be a rare mistake. The number 88 is Sean Butler, a multi-time champion here on Monday night, making a mistake. Jeffrey Souza now. Car number 4 will now take that second spot, cool the tires off, and maybe make a charge now at Zach Mitchell. Mitchell up there looking like he is struggling just a little bit. You can see that the Souza Media entry is starting to pull in Zach Mitchell. Zach Mitchell looking very strong here tonight. He's looking good, but when you look at that number 4 machine and you really start to break down the lap times, he's about a 1/10 of a second faster right now than Zach Mitchell. So, I mean, it's one thing to get there, and it's a total another thing on a short track to get around somebody. Let's see, can he get the run off turn number 2? He's going to run about a half a lane lower. Try to get some air to the front end of that number 4. See if he can make the move, and he cannot, so he'll just tuck back in line. See if he can get around. Right to the back bumper just about, then loses the nose off the corner. It's the battle for the race lead right now. Both drivers slipping and sliding off the corner. 67 laps in the books. We have not had a new race leader. Will it be the first time here tonight? Here's Souza. He'll nose ahead out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway they go with a drag race to 3. Both drivers trying to utilize as high as they can to get the momentum off a 4 drag race. Give it to Souza. New race leader, lap number 68, will go to the number 4 of Jeffrey Souza. That'll be his 11th spot gain. Trying to clear. He will clear barely by the skin of his teeth, and he'll slide in front of Zach Mitchell. So now can the new tires for the 4 just run away and hide here? Right on board with the Stant Analyzer, number 4 of Jeffrey Souza, the new race leader here tonight. Last time by, he was a 1/10 of a second faster at the stripe. Take a look this time. Where does he fall? And 2/10, almost 3/10 of a second faster. So we'll watch that battle here as there's another battle. Here comes that 62 Troutman, the Home Depot. That Chevy trying to get around Ryan O'Donnell. We talked about it, Ryan O'Donnell rolling the dice here in that Turbo Dork Radical Paints entry. Driver out of Canton, Michigan. Known more for his road racing ability in GT cars. He loves those road races. Short tracks, maybe not so much, but he's trying something here tonight, and so far, it is working. Just out ahead of him, Max Terriell and Dalton Williamson. Oh, Williamson up against the outside wall down the straightaway, scraping up that right side. It's a short track. You don't need aerodynamics. Beat it in just a little bit, Williamson. Make sure it passes Tech. Remember, Dalton was making a pass contact problems. James Skelton around. The caution flag is going to fly. Skelton is around the 99. Nicole Day is around. Bennett is stopped. I believe that was Feeney also who had stopped. So here on lap number 75, halfway home, and the fourth caution flag of the evening will fly. Take a look here real quick. What happened? 99, a cold day up on the outside. Looked like new tire versus old tire there, as Cold Day had the newer tires rolled up on the number 98 of Ryan Donnie, and James Skelton did the same thing. Didn't think Cold Day was probably going to check up that much. Right on board here with the 99 of Cold Day. Completely out of the throttle, and the 86 is Skelton right into the back of him. Right on board with Skelton. Drivers to pit road, though. There's the first driver off of pit road. 2 tires stop for the 61 of Dalton Williamson. So Williamson will take advantage of a pit stop here. He'll come to pit lane. He'll be the first one off. 2 tires for him. Jeffrey Souza, second car off of pit road. 4 tires for the number 4 of Souza. Ryan O'Donnell with 2 tires. He'll be the third car off of pit road. Zach Mitchell with 4 tires. He'll restart now 5th. Troutman, Chris Hammett, Sean Butler, Jason Wells, Joe Strano will round out the top 10. That's how they will line up here. As one driver electing to stay out, and that is number 42 of Max Terriel. Terriel pitted back on lap number 33. So he's got a couple laps on those tires. We'll see how they fire off for a score fresh. Mr. Feelgood's out there. What do you say? A good race so far here tonight at the Irwindale Speedway. Race fans, now everybody, though, with 4 fresh tires, just about. A couple of them with 2. One driver with no fresh tires. They will line them back up. We will get ready for the second half of this race. Everybody's had, well, over 70 laps of racing competition to feel out their cars and know how they're going to react. Now, how will they react with brand new tires and 79 laps of experience? Ready to go back into the restart zone after the fourth caution flag of the evening. It'll be Max Terriel, Dalton Williamson, side by side. Green flag up, and Williamson going to go straight to the bottom. Will he slide up in front of the 42? He will. Dalton Williamson will lead down the back straightaway. Classic veteran move there by the number 61 of Dalton Williamson, going straight to the bottom, and he will be our 4th leader of the night. So Williamson does lead a lap. Now can anybody fire back at him? Here comes Souza. Souza has 4 tires. He will try to make the pass on the 42 of Max Terriel. So it's 2 tires, 4 tires, and no tires. Look at that 4 just eat up the bottom side of the speedway, trying to get the race lead now to Souza. Couple drivers scraping the wall back there. It looked like that was Donald Bennett. Bennett going to be down on pit road here, so Bennett having some issues. He was running inside the top 15. Battle is for the race lead, and it is a good one as these 2 drivers almost making contact down the back straightaway. Souza, I think, needs to go straight to the bottom down here in 1. You need to go to the bottom, and you need to slide exactly how Williamson did. You'd be able to complete this pass and then try to run away and hide. Williamson sideways on the top side. That'll help the 4 now as those tires on the 61 are heated up. Souza making ground. He will get the race lead. Now he should be able to possibly, as Williamson gasses it up through the center of the corner. Sideways again off turn number 2, but this time he'll pull even down the max right away. Souza has just not been able to clear, so it's just chewing up the tires of that Souza media entry. Zach Mitchell loves to see the racing action out in front of him because he's now gaining on the top 2. It's about to be a 3-horse race for this top spot. Now Dalton Williamson will back off. He will give Souza the top spot. So it'll be Souza, it'll be Williamson, and then it'll be Zach Mitchell running 1, 2, and 3 here tonight at the Irwindale Speedway. Zach Mitchell will now try the bottom as they're just about 3 wide back here. Ryan O'Donnell going to be the Turbo Dork smush in the middle, because that'll be Sean Butler to the outside, drinking some Mountain Dew, getting jacked up. And then there's the Alien. The Alien has been to the bottom all night long. Jason Wells, I don't know if he's ran 5 consecutive laps on the top side of the speedway yet tonight or not. As he's sideways. Sean Butler will pull to the inside here on Max Terrill. Remember, contact. Terrill into the outside wall. Contact behind them, spinning out of the corner. The 62 of Troutman spins it around. The 98 of Ryan O'Donnell going to go with them. Sean Single and James Skelton for the 3rd time here tonight involved in a wreck. It is not going to be the night if you're Sean Single or James Skelton. You cannot hide. There's a target on both those cars. Fifth caution flag here tonight. This is how it starts. Ryan O'Donnell sideways into the corner because he checks up because of the 42 into the fence. That all started with Sean Butler and Max Terrill. Right on board with Ryan O'Donnell. Watch the 2 in front of him. Butler slides up into the 42, and Ryan just didn't get back to the gas, unfortunately. And everybody going to pile on in. Watch this. Watch the chain reaction. This is from O'Donnell. He's kind of just sandwiched in between 2 different accidents. With Skelton. You could hear everybody lift out of the gas, but it's just too hard when you're running that close to each other and everybody fighting for the outside lane. There you see the 184 of Kevin O'Brien. He came to a complete stop back there. So the caution flag flies. That helps the number 61 of Dalton Williamson. Williamson lost the race lead to Jeffrey Souza. So now the tires on the 61 can cool down a little bit every time through turns 1 and 2. Definitely off of turn number 2. That 61 of Williamson was sideways, letting her eat, letting her lay on the right side. He does have right side new tires on that number 61. Problem is, did he just use them up in that little short burst where that number 4 of Souza got around him? Because now he'll have a bunch of cars with 4 fresh tires bearing down on him. Drivers that did come to pit road. Looks like Ryan O'Donnell, Kevin O'Brien, Bob Higgins, James Skelton came to pit road also. Max Terrill also coming to pit road here on lap number 91. So he will have 4 fresh tires, except he'll have to restart back around the 15th position. 55 laps will be left here tonight as we get ready to finish up the 5th caution flag of the evening here at the virtual Irwindale Speedway, ready to go back racing. 3 drivers have called it tonight. The 99 of Cole Day, Donald Bennett, and Tim Williams. 3 other drivers not making the call to the green tonight: Roy Fernandez, DJ Anderson, and A.J. Watkins. Green flag back up, 94 laps officially in the books. It is Jeffrey Souza as the race leader. But here comes Williamson. Does he try to do what he did last time? He goes about middle groove. Will he dive it down in here in 3? Will he go to the bottom? Go for the race lead. He runs the high side here, down to 3 and 4. He'll wiggle a little bit. Now Souza will take the race lead. Williamson will funnel back into line. Everybody else straight to the top here. The 62 down to the bottom side. When has Troutman not been to the bottom side? Almost a little contact there with Philly Edwards. There goes Shanika single around the outside. Shanika back to the 11th spot. Max Terrell in those new tires right now. He's caught behind 2 cars that are running side by side. Edwards working the outside. Troutman working the inside. Max just can't go anywhere. Now Edwards going to lose a little ground there to that 62. Max has to get going here. Nothing happening at the front of the field. You're watching the best battles here as Edwards makes a mistake into the corner. Here comes that 42. He'll slide up in front of Philly Edwards. Now put Max Tarrant for fresh tires and up to the 13th spot. What a drive it could be if he can get back to the front of the field here. James Skelton going to go into the outside wall a little bit. His night not doing so well. Back into the 16th spot now. Souza has opened up, call about 3/4 of a second lead now over Dalton Williamson as they work down the back straightaway. Here comes Zach Mitchell. Mitchell has 4 fresh tires. Well, fresher tires at this point. Pitted back on lap number 76, so 25 laps on the tires, but he does have 4 new ones compared to the 2 that Williamson has. Zach Mitchell has showed a lot of speed in the 4X Racing GoBowling.com entry. Problem is, did he use them up? He'll take a bid to the inside, down in 3, see what he can do out of turn 4. Can he keep the momentum built up sideways for him? Williamson really struggling here in this long run. Sideways for the 8 of Mitchell. He'll rip a little bit of the good rubber off. There's a battle here for 2nd and a battle back there for 10th. As one car having some problems. Caution lights. Troutman having some problems. He has turned around in the Home Depot entry. The 6th caution flag of the evening flying. What happened to the 62 here of Troutman? There's Feeney down on the bottom. Max Terriot right there. Terriot with the newer tires gasses it up and right into the rear quarter panel and around. Gonna go Ethan Troutman. You heard Troutman just not able to get back into the gas as he has the older tires. Max Terriot closing in fast. Right on board with Max. Listen to it. Max just barely touches the gas, and with the fresh tires and Troutman not getting back to the gas, right into the quarter panel, and the caution will fly. So unfortunate for those drivers here tonight, as a couple drivers will take advantage of the caution flag once again. They have fresh rubber down there. They do have 4 sets available to them here tonight at the Irwindale Speedway. So you can't take them with you. They're virtual, so they're paid for, if you will. Why not come down, put them on, and then come back out? Max Terriot's down, Ethan Troutman, James Skelton, Philly Edwards, Joshua Buckley, and Brandon Feeney all on the lead lap, and they are coming to pit road. They will put 4 tires on, and then they will try to come back out onto the raceway and work their way through. Because what's it going to be? Just under 50 laps left in this one. Probably be about, I'll call it 40, give or take 1 or 2 laps there from either side of that. So we're still got time for them to climb through the field. What we can tell you is it'll be Jeffrey Souza, Dalton Williamson, Zach Mitchell, Chris Hammett, Sean Butler, Jason Wells, Tony Strano, Joe Strano, Sean Single, Dan Butler, the top 10. First car on, or lowest running car on old tires will be Bob Higgins. First car on fresh tires will be James Skelton. That'll be the 11th and 12th positions that we will watch here tonight. Ryan O'Donnell is the driver that is one lap down right now in the number 98. You can see him dropping to the back of the field, so the Turbo Door Credible Paints entry is in position for a lucky dog if we were to have a caution and he was not wrapped up in it. Ready to go. 41 laps will be on the ticker. Sixth caution flag of the evening. Wrapping up. Green flag back out. Oh! The 4 of Souza all jacked up on the restart. He will wiggle, he will wobble, and he will lose the race lead. Dalton Williamson boot scooting and boogieing. One car up into the wall. That was Philly Edwards. Edwards will stay pointed in the right direction. Max Terrill, though, turned around. Max Terrill in the 42 turned around, so the 7th caution flag of the evening will fly here. Philly Edwards' car may have been broken and involved. Watch the Philly Edwards entry right there. Gets into the outside wall and nowhere for him to go. Oh, Ryan O'Donnell wrapped up in this. He would have been the lucky dog. Right on board with Max. You'd heard Max. He was out of the gas. He was along for the ride at that point. There was just nothing the 42 was going to do with Philly Edwards up into the outside wall. Ryan O'Donnell also getting involved. Let's take a ride with Ryan. Just the pinball effect there. You had the 73 of Edwards into the wall. Terrill then getting bounced off the wall, and Ryan O'Donnell just right there. See Max coming down pit road again. I'm sure this is just to check some damage on the 42. I don't know if he'll put another set of tires on. Might save the tires. That's what looks like what it's exactly going to be for the 42 of Max Terrill. He will just come down here and get some service done to his number 42, and then he'll come back out onto the racetrack. So Williamson going to take over the race lead on the bobble by Souza. Let's see if we get this one to go here, if we can go back and watch the restart. Looks like the lights will stay on, so let's take the look here. Watch the restart. Watch that 4. This is on the restart prior. Souza goes to come up through the gears, and yeah, he just loses it on his own on the 2 to 3 shift. Got it sideways, got it all sorts of out of shape, lost the race lead. Dalton Williamson waltzed away from there before the caution flag flew. So now, can Souza restart on the inside and possibly hold it pinned going into 1 and take that race lead? Or can Dalton Williamson on those 2 tires? Remember, it's 2 tires for Williamson. He's the only driver out there that has only 2 tires on the right-hand side of his machine. Everybody else has 4 tires. And if you look at it, everybody inside the top 9 pitted back on lap number 76. Then you have Bob Higgins, who pitted back on lap number 92. Brandon Feeney in the 11th spot. He pitted on lap 106. And then everybody from there on back kind of mixed in between 76 and 112. Ready to go. 115 laps in the books. Here we go. A good start that time by Williamson, though. A good start by Williamson. Will Souza be able to pull even? He will not, but he will defend the 2nd spot. He will hang on for P2. Zach Mitchell now under the attack. Where did Jason Wells come from? He's just rolled the bottom all night long. See everybody having to check up in the corners here. Everybody where did Shanika single? He was involved in 3 wrecks here tonight, and Shanika single now on the outside lane. He is the 6th car to the outside lane, running 7th overall. Going for 6th here. I did not know George Jetson could run this fast. I wish I knew what the robot's name was on the driver door. Watch the driver door when Sean Single gets to the back straightaway. What is that robot right there? I wish I had watched enough cartoons to remember them all. I know Sean sure did. Battle for the race lead, though, as Souza was all up on the rear end of that Chevrolet out front, and he had it sideways eaten. Souza sideways again, trying to find anything he can because it'll be 30 laps this time by. 30 laps remaining. It'll be Williamson sideways for Souza in second. Zach Mitchell, Chris Hammett, and Sean Butler. So Sean Butler back there running in 5th is exactly where he started here tonight. The only driver has contact for the race lead. Souza right to the back bumper of the 61 of Dalton Williamson. He's there again. Gonna get him loose off turn 4. A big nudge, a big sideways, and everybody checks up. They keep it going. Big moment there, but a lot of respect by the race leaders. Souza got into the 61 of Williamson. Williamson hung onto it. Souza lifts out of the gas. Zach Mitchell lifts out of the gas. Yeah, that's going to bring now Chris Hammett and Sean Butler and Sean Single into the picture. But talk about respectful racing at the front of the field. That's something a lot of times you don't see when you watch the big boys on the big screen TVs. And sometimes here on iRacing, we can forget that these are virtual cars, yes. But some of these drivers, this is the closest they will ever get to being in a real stock car at a real race here at the Irwindale Speedway. So a lot of respect right there between those top 3 drivers. But Wells still down on the bottom, digging. He'll actually pass the 11 of Sean Single back. Single did get around him on the outside. And how about James Skelton inside the top 10 also? Another one of those drivers that has been involved in 3 wrecks here tonight, inside the top 10, late in this one. Laps are counting down, though. You gotta go. It's hard. Oh, Bob Higgins giving her all she's got, captain in the 20-year anniversary Checkered Flag Auto Supply entry. He's having a heck of a run here tonight. He was just inside the top 10, just got bumped outside the top 10 by Ethan Troutman. So a good run for Bob Higgins, one of those drivers that relies heavily on short track racing. Loves modified racing up in the Northeast. That's asphalt modifieds. Battle for the race lead. Here it comes. Souza now gets to the inside. Williamson with a big slide into 1. Williamson trying to hang on. 24 to go, and that's the battle. Williamson somehow gets a nice run off corner 2. Takes the race lead back, but Souza will use the bottom. Sideways for the 4. These 2 drivers are showing off here tonight. Wiling out for the youngsters out there tuning in, if that's the right terminology. Look at them, how close they race into turn 3 and 4. No contact between the race leaders. Still no contact with a big bobble by Souza. Side by side, you can see Williamson just laying it over on the right side, having to counter steer a little bit. Look at the hands for Souza. He got loose off 2. Souza got loose, but hung on to it. It'll be 20 laps to go when they get back here to the stripe. Oh, I believe there was contact back here. Here's James Skelton working to the inside of Sean Single. These 2 have made contact plenty of times here tonight and plenty of times in their career. So with 20 laps to go, I'm sure there's no love lost between these 2. Single gonna really wheel it in there. That car was sideways, complete sideways into 1. Battle for the lead starting to cool off, though, as Jeffrey Souza starting to drop back here now just a little bit. Maybe an inch or 2, and that time got it crossed up out of 4. It will all be Dalton Williamson out front here now. Sean Single gonna do the wall ride technique, and it's not going to work for him, so now it'll be James Skelton running in 6th. Single is going to lose 2 spots, 1 corner, because that is the number 62 of Ethan Troutman. Troutman down to the bottom side. Single into the outside wall again. Maybe used up that right front tire on the 11 machine. Watching the best battle, but here comes another one. Another good run off turn 4. Souza can get there. He just can never complete the pass. He needs to do that dive down to the bottom. A huge slide job would definitely get the pass made for him. Can't do it. Sideways again, all 4. Zach Mitchell, Sean Butler, they are all right here. James Skelton just keeps rolling the bottom side of the speedway. Is Chris Hammett going to get into the wall there? James Skelton does have the fresher tires out of the front group. He pitted back on lap 106. Everybody else back on lap number 76. So he's got fresh tires. Just has to be mindful of weight contact at the front. The Souza machine going to go for a ride. Souza goes around and nowhere for a couple of the drivers to go. The 64 is involved. The 64 involved with 15 laps to go. The caution flag out for the second place car of Jeffrey Souza getting turned around. And oh no, the right front completely buckled on the Souza media entry. It's going to be a night ender for the driver out of Somerset, Massachusetts. Take a look. Watch it back. Right there, he got into the back of Williamson, and Williamson bobbled, then the 4 lifted, but nowhere for Zach Mitchell to go. And you saw the very hard contact there for the Troutman entry. Or sorry, for the 64 of Wells. Watch the contact. There's a slight contact, bobble, lift, and Zach Mitchell on the straightaway didn't see the bobble until it was too late. Souza tried to drive out of it, but Wells was already hard on the gas. Right on board with Wells. The indecisiveness right there, I think, may have just got the 64 in trouble. There's the 3 of Tony Strano. Tony Strano's onboard camera. Ugh. See Souza down on pit road. It's going to be the night ender for him. Looks like they might get it back out there to turn a lap or 2. Trying to stay on the lead lap. Remember, he is one of those drivers trying to battle for a championship. So Williamson will be the race leader when we go back racing. Him and Sean Butler, along with Zach Mitchell, James Skelton, and Shanika Single do stay out. So the top 5 drivers stay out here. Brandon Feeney also staying out. He came down on lap number 106. There you see the Liquid Molly entry. The auto tire and safeties, the Feeney call on board with him here tonight. They all stay out. So between lap 76 and 106 for those drivers was the last time they came to pit road. Then it's going to be 4 tires for Chris Hammett in car number 6. So we'll see where Chris Hammett can go. 2 tires for Ethan Troutman. 4 tires for everybody else. It'll be a good one to watch here. It will be 9 laps remaining. Williamson choosing the outside lane, putting Sean Butler to the inside. So let's see what happens here. Out of 4, green flag is up. 9 laps to go. Dalton Williamson holding the top spot as contact. A couple drivers up into the outside wall. That was James Skelton into the wall, and so was Brandon Feeney. Everybody keeps it rolling. 3 wide back there for about the 5th position. Shanika Single in the middle. Ethan Troutman down low, and the number 6 of Chris Hammett to the outside. Contact, door banging, they go. That was the aid of Zach Mitchell and Sean Butler that made a little contact. Now Zach Mitchell going to lose ground. Here comes that number 6, Chris Hammett. He's got fresh tires. He'll pull into P number 4. 7 laps remaining, and now seeing if those new tires can pay off. He should be able to get third, but will he have enough time? Contact for the race lead. James Skelton, Dalton Williamson. Contact with 7 to go. Contact, and oh, Skelton going to try and clip right over the nose, and no, he'll go into the wall. Skelton around into the wall. He'll collect the 88. He tried to clear up in front of the number 61 of Williamson. Was not clear. Sean Single somehow involved again. I think him and James Skelton may be tied at the hip. This one's definitely going to send us into overtime. The 88 coming straight to pit road. Watch this back. There's the contact from Williamson. We'll have to throw it back just a little bit farther. Here, this is how Skelton got the lead. Down into 3, drove it in and tried to clear up and just was not clear. Unfortunately, that's going to get some drivers involved in this one. The 62 of Troutman going around. We see that in the background. Watch this from on board. Just not quite clear. Not quite clear for the 86. Where's Troutman in this mix? There he is. He's up against the boards, and then the smoke out in front of him. Oh, Josh Buckley into the back of Sean Single, which gets into the 62. Souza involved in another one then. Just a melee back there. Right on board with Souza. Tries to drive it down, and cars are everywhere. So that will put us into, I do believe, a green-white checker. Trying to look at the laps here if we get the one to go. We would have a one-lap shootout. I'm not sure how this one will play out. What I can tell you is it's Williamson on those 2 tires that are old from back on lap number 76. Chris Hammett, 4 fresh ones back on lap number 138. James Skelton's got 4. That was back on lap number 106. And then Zach Mitchell on old ones on lap number 76. Brandon Feeney on new ones on lap 106. And Max Terrell. We're going to get a green-white checker attempt here. Buckle up, race fans. I'm not sure what to expect here. But we're going to see something. Sean Single got his spot back. So did James Skelton. Here we go. Chris Hammett with a huge launch with those new tires down to the inside. Williamson with a slide, and hanging on to it. It'll be Chris Hammett nosing ahead. But can he hold on to it? Williamson fires back out of turn number 4. Big wobble for the 61 of Williamson. White flag will fly. Chris Hammett has the race lead. Contact for second. Zach Mitchell and Dalton Williamson locked together at the hip. It is going to be Chris Hammett down the back straightaway. He is clear and gone. Battle for second. Hammett will win tonight's race, but the battle for second, it will be Zach Mitchell finishing second with, how about Max Terriot coming back from 2 incidents. He will finish in P number 3. Dalton Williamson will finish back there in 4th. And how about Brandon Feeney picking up his first top 5 ever with the series in that number 38. James Skelton across the line in 6th. Shanika Single in 7th. 8th will go to Ethan Troutman, Tony Strano, and Dan Butler finishing inside the top 10 here tonight. Everybody stopping by to say congratulations to the number 6. Chris Hammett is the winner here tonight. He will burn it down on the front straightaway. There you see your unofficial winner here tonight, the driver out of Virginia. The one-time champion with the series. He'll display the smoke show. Coming up next, we're talking to the top finishing competitors here tonight in the Liquid Motley post-race show. Hang tight, race fans. Don't go anywhere from the virtual Irwindale Speedway. We'll be back with your post-race interviews.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome back here to the Irwindale Speedway for the Liquid Motley post-race show here tonight from the virtual Irwindale Speedway. The Checkered Flag Auto Supply Scrambler series presented by Red Light Racing just took a little bit of overtime to finish this one off, but it was a barn burner with strategy all throughout the field. 2 tires, old tires, new tires, and a whole lot of rubbing as racing on the short tracks. Let's head down trackside here tonight to get our top podium finishers. And let's start things off with the driver that will officially lock himself in to the postseason. How about it, Chris Hammett? This one here tonight, it was tough, it was rough, and it was up against the outside for a lot of this one.
Yeah, it was. I kind of figured a race would be like this. I kind of figured it'd be similar to IRP, where we won at earlier this season and had a lot of success. Didn't have the overall speed. I feel like we were a fringe top 5 car there, especially after all the kind of beating and banging. We were somehow able to miss all of it and keep it clean. So I know that helped us. And then, it was 10 laps to go and we were riding 6. I was like, well, if we stay out, we'll run 6. If we come in and get 4, we'll see what happens. So, we got that extra caution that I think we were going to need to get up there and challenge Dalton for it. Sometimes the strategy call works out, and tonight 4 tires was it. So, we stole one tonight, and I'll take it.
Talk about stealing one. Sometimes, I always say it, and I'm going to say it again for you. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and that's maybe exactly what happened here tonight. But you talk about picking up your second win. Is there something about this car? I mean, yeah, you won earlier in the season, but this win officially locks you in, but it's with the same car as before.
I don't know, and I'm going to start a petition that this needs to be the championship car. I'm going to file that as soon as I get off of here, see if I can get that changed. I don't know if it's the car, if it's the style of tracks that we've run this car on this year. They've kind of all been a little bit similar, short tracks and up against the wall. Or I don't know if maybe it's just a big coincidence. Maybe it's just our awesome team at 4X Racing. We got another 1-2 finish tonight. It's our 3rd win as a team this year. So I'm going to put a lot of credit in that bucket.
Well, you pick up the win here tonight. Maybe a little team help, if you will. You say it, not me. But hey, a great run nonetheless, and wins are hard to come by here in this series. So another win for you. Let's see, where does that put you? That'll put you now officially tied with, well, the old Richard Murdoch for 8th overall in the all-time win list. How does it feel to crack the top 10 on one of the hardest leagues you're going to find to pick up wins?
Hey, that sounds pretty good there. Yeah, man, we 4 wins now for me. So we need to get a couple more here as we go into the playoffs. But really happy to be locked in. It was nice to already have the win to be able to pull off strategy like that and know if it doesn't work out, it's not the end of the world. So able to race a little looser, have a little more fun with it, and we've wrecked a couple this year doing that, but we were able to pick up Checker Flag tonight, so I'll take it.
Well, we're going to roll the red carpet out for you once again here, champ, and, the microphone is yours. Who makes this all possible back home?
Well, first, I got to thank my awesome girlfriend, Ashley, for letting me hide back in this room for a couple hours. I love you, baby. Got to thank everybody at 4X Racing, Zach, Sean, 2 Cent Single, and our awesome designer, Ryan O'Donnell. I'm really happy with how we work together. We're able to race each other and race each other hard, but we're able to help each other out when we need to too. So I'm really happy with how everything's going with that. Got to shout out as always Josh, James, and Richard for running this league. It's so much fun to do. You, Roger, for broadcasting this. I'll definitely have a fun time watching at least the last 10 laps back of this tomorrow. This is just a great league. Have so much fun doing these things. We're having an awesome season, so ready to keep it rolling.
There you hear it. He'll pick up the win. That is Chris Hammett, your winner here tonight in the Liquid Molly post-race interview with your winner. And finishing into the second spot, you heard his name already mentioned, part of that 4X Racing. Zach, a great run for the 8 car here. You fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying, led the most laps, but it will be 1 spot short.
Yeah, the teammate should always let the guy with who led the most laps win. So I think we run another lap. I think Chris could let me by there, but there's always next week.
You talk about next week, but this week was a barn burner, one of the toughest tracks on the season, and it was right up against the wall in a short track racing, and, well, the right side of this car is used up and caved in. How did that happen in the closing laps?
I was using it all up. It's not very often I get the pole or am the fastest throughout the majority of the race, unless it's a road course. So, and it's really hard to pass. You kind of got to use it up. But throughout the race, everybody kept kind of creeping closer to the wall, and I practiced it a little bit, but my car wasn't very drivable up there, or the driver error wasn't very good. But I tried, and I had to make it work. But otherwise, it was overall a good night.
It's a good night here for you. Another great points night as, well, you're one of the drivers that are locked in, so you didn't really have to worry if you picked up that win. But how bad did you want another one this season?
I always want to win, especially after last season where my average finish was in the 20s. It's always nice to run up front, and if I can ever get a win, especially with the competition we got in this league, like you said earlier, it's hard to win. So if you get a chance, you really want to take advantage of it.
Well, what do you think? You were in the running here tonight at Irwindale. Scrap the short tracks. Let's go back to the big cookie cutter tracks. Auto Club, staying here in California, 65 laps in the trucks next week.
It should be okay. I like Auto Club. The trucks are okay. I don't like the trucks. They're not my favorite, but the track is a good track of mine as long as I can save my tires and not try to drive it at 110% the whole time. I think I should be okay.
Well, before we let you go, who's back home in Minnesota that helps you out along with this 4X crew?
Can't thank the guys at 4X Racing enough. Like Chris said, we work really well together, and it's nice to have some people to talk strategy through. And if you were watching the whole race, Chris, when I started third and he started fourth, he kind of backed off and let me in, so we didn't lose too many spots together, so we could stay up front. And overall, it worked out at the end. But can't thank Josh and the admins enough for putting this league on and picking a night that I actually don't have anything going on. This is the only night that I have a free night, basically, throughout the week. So the wife lets me come down here and race, so I can't thank her enough for letting me, hunker down here. The one night I am home a week. So, and can't thank you, Roger, enough for putting on the broadcast for us so we can go back and watch the next day like I will tomorrow. And also got to shout out Brandon Feeney for a first top 5 tonight. So we're all proud of him.
There you have it. He's a proud driver here tonight. He's part of that 4X Racing stable. It'll be Zach Mitchell. He will finish in P number 2. The finisher of P number 3 by the skin of his teeth was Max Terriel. Max has actually walked off here. We went to talk to him real quick, and he said, you know what? I'm giving up my spot because my friend Brandon Feeney finished inside the top 5 for the first time ever, so go talk to him. So that's exactly what we're going to do, race fans. There it is. The driver of the 38, Brandon Feeney. Feeney, a great finish here tonight at the virtual Irwindale Speedway, a brand new paint scheme out there, and the most spots gained with 15. How the heck did you hold on to her tonight?
The biggest goal of Irwindale Speedway was patience. I had to try to avoid a lot of wrecks and pick when I took my tires and, not wreck the car.
You didn't wreck the car. You played some strategy in the middle of the race, and you stayed out at one point, and then you came in late. Do you think pitting later on lap 106 was the key to getting this finish?
I think it did, because it kept me out of the cluster in the center where there was a few accidents that a few good cars got damaged, where I was able to brake and avoid anything.
You avoided it. You kept this car looking good. A brand new paint scheme out there. Tell us about that one.
I got to thank Ryan O'Donnell for getting this paint scheme done for me to represent my real car for hopefully this season. And it looks great. He just finished it yesterday, so we had to slap it on and see how she looked.
Brand new color on that number and a brand new logo on the back. Tell us about the brand new logo back there with that the microphone. What's going on with what's that? The Feeney call?
Yeah, we're working on recording the first episode here. We're just gotta dot the I's, cross the T's, get everything going, and hopefully the first episode will be out before the end of the month. I got about 9-10 guests lined up already, and I gotta thank you for designing that logo because it looks beautiful.
Well, it's a good-looking logo and a great-looking car here tonight, and it was sure fast here at the virtual Irwindale Speedway. We're going to have to hand you the microphone, and why don't you give us the best Feeney call of who you got to thank?
I got to thank Liquid Molly and Auto Tired Safeties, and once that Ryan O'Donnell for making this paint scheme, and he made it flawless. It looks identical to my regular car. I got to thank you up in the Turn 3 booth and Josh Buckley. And if anyone wants to hit up the Feeney call, maybe we'll have you on the voice of the intro of the Feeney call when I first started up.
Well, there you have it. You never know what's going to happen, especially when Brandon Feeney, race fans, comes to town. He will grab his first top 5 ever here with Red Light Racing. That's the 38 of Brandon Feeney, who will finish into the 5th spot. A great run for him. And how about a great run back through the field for James Skelton, Sean Single? They will finish 6th and 7th. Ethan Troutman also coming back here to finish in the 8th spot. Tony Strano in 9th, and Dan Butler will rattle off a top 10 after a little bit of a hectic one here tonight at the virtual Irwindale Speedway. So tonight's race was an absolute barn burner, and well, no new winner here tonight, but still a lot of drivers that are going to swap up positions. Murdoch was not here tonight. Sean Single rallied back for at least a top 10 finish. And how about, I'm looking at it, that's Sean Butler, who came in on the cut line. He will finish well down the pecking order in the 17th spot. So a lot of these drivers like Joshua Buckley, Dalton Williamson, and Tony Strano are possibly going to sneak into the backside of the playoffs here after this week. Next week, though, we will stay right here in sunny California. We will head to the Auto Club Speedway on April the 17th. The Auto Club Speedway with the NASCAR trucks for 65 laps is the next destination for the series. So on April the 17th, we will catch you then, race fans. But for everybody with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, everybody with Red Light Racing, and all of us here at the Turn 3 Racing Network, I'm Roger Muth. We hope you enjoyed tonight's show from the virtual Irwindale Speedway. And until we see you next time, race fans, everybody stay safe, and we'll see you in Turn 3.